Hello students, welcome to Dakshina E-Classroom. So how are you all? I hope and I wish that you all are happy, healthy and studying very well. And by now you must have given the test paper and I hope you must have attempted it once again. So before seeing the solution, try all the questions. Before attempting the solution, try all the questions, put your efforts, and then if you are not able to solve the problem, then come to see the solution. And if you are able to solve all the problems, then you don't have to see the solution. You can go back. It is not compulsory. And if you have problems in only 2 to 3 problems or some particular problems, then see the solution for those particular problems only. Do not see the complete solution. Okay? So we will be starting from, we have physics in part B, which is starting from question number 46. So first question is, a car moving with a speed of 50 km per hour can be stopped by brakes after at least 10 meter. If the same car is moving at speed of 100 km per hour, the minimum stopping distance is. So in this question we have initial velocity of the car and it was stopped after traveling for 10 meters. It means its final velocity is 0 because it is stopped. So its final velocity is 0 and before coming to rest it has covered how much distance? 10 meters. So we have initial velocity, final velocity and its displacement. In the next case we have initial velocity and we have to find out the stopping distance. So basically the deceleration provided by car will remain same. So यहाँ पे हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं? Initial velocity is 50 km per hour and if I convert it into meter per second, it becomes 50 into 5 by 18 meter per second. Stopping distance. Stopping distance means after how much distance it has stopped. So distance is given as 10 meters. Acceleration, do we know acceleration? No. And final velocity is 0 because it has stopped. So now we can use, we have V, A, S, A we don't have, but V, S and U. Which equation we should use? The third equation, V square minus U square is equal to 2S. If I use V square minus U square is equal to 2AS, I have 0 minus 50 into 5 by 18 square is equal to 2 into A into 10. Okay? Now in the next case we have 100 km per hour. 100 km per hour. And we have to find out the stopping distance. So what we'll do? Again final velocity is 0 minus 100 into 5 by 18 is equal to 2A into S. So now what we can do? If we have 0 here, just remove this and divide these two equations. What we'll get? 2A is cancelled. Now I can put it like this. 50 into 5 by 18 square, 100 into 5 by 18 square and this minus are cancelled. तो ये कैसे cancel होगा? 2 times. So what we'll get? 1 by 4 square. 1 square, यहाँ पे 2 square. 1 by 4 is equal to 10 divided by S. So what we are getting? S is equal to 40 meter. So if its velocity was 50 km per hour and if we provide acceleration, whatever maximum deceleration of the car was, if we provide that car will stop in 10 meters and if its velocity was 100 km per hour and you applied the brake, then what will happen? It will cover 40 meter before coming to rest. So answer will be first option. Second question is, a car moves from X to Y with a uniform velocity Vu and returns to X with a uniform velocity Vd. The average speed of this round trip is. So this kind of questions we have done in the lecture itself. So what we'll do in question number 47, a car moves from X to Y with velocity Vu and from Y to X with velocity Vd. So we had solved one problem in which we were covering the half distances of the total journey, first half and second half with two different velocities V1 and V2. This is same. If the question is what will be the average velocity, then definitely answer will be 0 because once the particle comes back to X, its displacement is 0. But in the question they are asking average speed. So this question is something like this. First D you have covered with Vu and second D you have covered with Vd. This is distance D. So first you have covered D with Vu and then you have covered distance d with Vd. Then what will be the average velocity? I think you must be remembering the answer. So answer was 2Vu Vd by Vu plus Vd. We can solve this. So when it is going from x to y, how much time it will take? Distance is d. मैंने मान लिया कि distance d है. Then time taken will be t1 or txy is distance divided by speed. Tyx is distance divided by speed. So now what we can do? Average velocity, average speed will be total distance, that is 2d divided by total time. D by Vu plus D by Vd is equal to d get cancelled. Vu Vd divided by Vu plus Vd. I hope it's clear to you. Average speed will be 2Vu Vd divided by Vu plus Vd. If they are asking average velocity, what will be the answer? Answer will be 0. Next, question number 48. The displacement is given by x is equal to 4t square plus t plus 5. The acceleration at t is equal to 5 seconds will be. This question is also very simple. We have x. How we will find the acceleration? First differentiation will give us the velocity. Second differentiation will give us the acceleration. So question number 48. We have x is equal to 4t square plus t plus 5. First differentiation with respect to time is equal to velocity, that will be 8t plus 1. Differentiation of this will be, this is constant, keep it aside. Differentiation of t square is 2 into t, so 4 into 2 into t, that is 8t. Differentiation of t is 1, differentiation of 5 is 0. Then d square x by dt square, this will give us the acceleration. Differentiate it again, we will get t 8 meter per second square. Acceleration is equal to, differentiation of this is 8, differentiation of this is 0. So acceleration is 8 meter per second square. Is this acceleration dependent on time or displacement or velocity? No. ये तो आया है constant. The acceleration is constant. It will not depend on anything. So whatever time you take, acceleration will be 8 meter per second square. So if it is t is equal to 5 or t is equal to 0 or t is equal to 10, it is going to remain same. So acceleration will be 8 meter per second square. Answer will be first option. Next, a particle is moving so that its displacement is given as s is equal to t cube minus 6t square plus 3t plus 4. Now find out the velocity at t is equal to 1 second. So question number 48. This is also very simple question. S is equal to t cube minus 6t square plus 3t plus 4. So if we differentiate it once with respect to time, what we'll get? We'll get velocity. ds by dt will be velocity. Velocity means instantaneous velocity. Velocity at a particular time. है ना? What is this? 3t square minus 12t plus 3. Differentiation of t cube will be 3t square. Differentiation of minus, keep it aside, 6, keep it aside. Differentiation of t square will be 2 into t. So 6 into 2 into t, 12t. Differentiation of this will be 3, differentiation of this will be 0. So we have to find out velocity at t is equal to 1 second. Put t is equal to 1 second in this equation, what will get? 3 into 1 square minus 12 into 1 plus 3. 3 minus 12 plus 3. It means 6 minus 12 minus 6 meter per second. What will be the velocity at t is equal to 1 second? Minus 6 meter per second. Option 2. So these type of problems you just have to differentiate and put t is equal to 1. So I think you should not miss such type of problems. Question number 48, question number 49, question number 47 was done in the lecture. Question number 46, this was also easy. I think you must have done this question. Now we'll see question number 50. A body is starting from rest and has uniform acceleration 8 meter per second square. The distance travelled by it in 6 seconds will be. So you have the formula, displacement in and second. Question number 49 and this is question number 50. So distance travelled in n second is Sn is equal to u plus a by 2, 2n minus 1. U is 0, body is starting from rest. Acceleration is 8, 8 by 2, 2 into 6 minus 1. What will get? 44 meter. This is 12 minus 1, 11 into 4, 44 meter. Answer will be second option. Next is question number 51. A body starts from rest. The ratio of distances traveled by the body during 5th and 6th second. We have to find out the ratio. These types of problems I have told you earlier that don't solve it completely because we have a trick. Trick कहो या फिर just an idea कि how the displacement changes when we take t is equal to 1, then t is equal to 2, t is equal to 3, or if we take the intervals of t like that, consecutive intervals of a constant time, है ना, t फिर again t या फिर 1 second 1 second 1 second. If we take like this, we get the ratio of displacement. If we have a big interval and we divide it in the equal intervals of time, t seconds, t seconds, then displacement traveled in this interval, if it is d, then displacement in this interval will be 3d, 5d, 7d, 9d. If we keep t is equal to 1 second, then give first second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. So this will be the first second, second second, third second, fourth second, fifth second, and sixth second. है ना? So what will be the ratio of displacement traveled in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth intervals or fifth, sixth seconds? It will be 1:3:5:7:9:11. This is the displacement in first second, second second, third second, fourth second, fifth second, and sixth second. And in the question it is asked that what is the ratio of displacement traveled in the fifth second and sixth second? Then answer will be 9:11. First option. Question number 52. A stone is dropped from a bridge and it reaches the ground in 8 seconds. The height of the bridge is. This is also very simple and directly formula based question. So we have seen that if an object is released or it is dropped from some height h, then we can simply use second equation of motion, that is h is equal to ut plus half at square. And now here initial velocity is 0, so h becomes half at square. H is in downward direction, a is in downward direction, that's why I have taken downward direction as positive. So we can write time taken to cover this h height is equal to root 2h by g. And problems on this formula we have done. So many problems. What will be the velocity? What will be the time taken? So here the time taken is 8 seconds. So now simply you can apply this formula. H is equal to half, a is 10, t square is 64. So what we'll get? H is equal to 320 meter. It means the height of bridge was 320 meter. The stone was dropped from a height of 320 meter. So it took how much time? It took 8 seconds to reach the bottom. Option 3. Question number 53. This question is from your module. A rocket is projected vertically upwards and its time velocity graph is shown in the figure. The maximum height attained by the rocket is. So whenever you have velocity time graph, the upper area or the area above the time axis will be positive displacement. है ना? If you take positive, this is negative. So if you are taking this side positive, upper area will be giving us the displacement in positive direction. So जब तक उसका displacement, जब तक area is positive, till the value of time we have the area positive, displacement will keep on increasing. है ना? If the particle started from here, it will keep on going in this direction. It will keep on going in this direction. And when, like here we have after 120 seconds, displacement or the area, we are starting a negative area. है ना? Before 120 second, we have it like this. So this area is positive. And this area is increasing. When you move from here to here, you have covered this much area. When you move from here to here, area has increased. Area is continuously increasing. It means you are moving in positive direction. If you see the velocity is when you have the graph above time axis, your velocity is positive. In this part, velocity is positive. It means you are continuously moving in this direction. So what will happen? If you are continuously moving in this direction, your displacement is going to increase. ठीक है? But after t is equal to 120 seconds, what is happening? Velocity graph has come below the time axis. It means after 120 seconds, the particle has taken the turn and it has started moving in this direction. Now its velocity is negative. It means it has started moving in opposite direction. So now up to this point, your displacement was increasing. But after this point, you have moved here. So your displacement has decreased. After some time, you have moved here. So your displacement has decreased. So the time up to which you are moving in this direction or your velocity is positive, your displacement will increase. See, the area is increasing. But after this, you have a negative area. So if you will take the total displacement or total area up to this time, what you will do? You will add this positive area minus this area. So your area has decreased. If area has decreased, it means your displacement has decreased. So we have to find out the maximum height attained by the rocket. So at what time it will attain the maximum height? It will attain the maximum height or it will travel the maximum displacement up to this time, because after this time it has turned, it has taken a turn and its displacement is decreasing. So what we do when we have to find out the maximum displacement or maximum height, we see कि किस पॉइंट पे, at which point the particle is taking turn, कहाँ पे वो अपनी velocity का direction change कर रहा है, because as soon as the particle changes the direction of velocity, क्या होगा? Its displacement will start decreasing. So velocity zero कब हो रही है? Initially particle started or whatever rocket is started from zero and slowly velocity increased and then again it decreased and has become zero. After this point velocity is negative. So it will start coming back. So कुछ ऐसा होगा कि पहले जाएगा, velocity बढ़ रही, फिर कम हुई velocity और फिर zero होगी. So maximum height कब होगी? When its velocity has become zero. Up to that point, it will keep on going in this direction. So just what we have to do? Just calculate this area, because area under the VT curve gives us the displacement. तो यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे? We'll calculate the area, that will be the displacement. ठीक है? Because after this जो भी area आएगा, that area will be negative, and when you will add that part in this, your displacement will become lesser. So that we don't want. We just want कि maximum कितना है? तो maximum complete positive part को calculate कर लो. That will be the area. ठीक है? And that will be the maximum height attained. So how we can find out the area? That is very simple. Half triangle है. Half base is 120, height is 1000 meter, और ये meter per second, 1000 meter per second and 120 second. So what we get? 60 kilometer. 60 kilometer is the maximum height attained by the rocket. If we go beyond this point, we are getting a negative displacement, है ना? Negative area मतलब negative displacement. So negative displacement क्या करेगा? When you will add the displacement in this or in this area, your total displacement is going to decrease. So हम क्या करेंगे? We will calculate the displacement up to the point where its velocity has become zero, or the point where the particle is taking turn. Because turn लेने के बाद displacement will start decreasing. लेकिन जब तक उसने turn नहीं लिया है, its displacement will keep on increasing. So answer will be 60 kilometer. Question number 54. I have calculated area up to this point, है ना? इसके बाद का area क्या है? Negative है, which will decrease the displacement. तो हमने वो नहीं लिया है. Question number 54. Two bodies, A of mass 1 kg and B of mass 3 kg are dropped from heights of 9 meter and 25 meter respectively. The ratio of the time taken by them to reach the ground is. So we have two bodies of different masses and it's dropped from a height of 9 meter and a height of 25 meter. Does this mass makes any sense? No, because the time taken will not depend on the mass. Acceleration of both the bodies are going to remain same, that is g. So the ratio of the time taken by them to reach the ground. Time taken by this will be root 2h by g. Time taken by this will be root 2h by g. Root 2h by g. So if you take the ratio T1 by T2, T1 by T2, if you do 2 into 25 by 10, this is going to get cancelled. So what we'll get? T1 by T2 is equal to root 9 divided by root 25. So T1 by T2 is equal to 3 divided by 5. 3:5. Option 1. Question number 55. If a ball is thrown vertically upwards at 40 meter per second, its velocity after 4 seconds will be. So if we are throwing a ball upwards with 40 meter per second, then after 4 seconds, what will be the velocity? We can find out it without writing a word on the paper, but let's see first with the method how we'll do. So initial velocity is 40 meter per second, acceleration is minus 10 meter per second square. I'm taking positive upwards, and time we have t is equal to 4 seconds. So v is equal to simply u plus at. We have to find out. U is 40, a is minus 10, 10 is time is 4. So we'll get v is equal to 0. Now again, without writing anything, how we can do? By initial velocity is 40 meter per second. Initial velocity 40 meter per second है, and we know कि on every object we have an acceleration which is equal to 10 meter per second square. जिसका मतलब क्या होता है कि it decreases if a particle is going upward. It decreases the velocity of that particular particle. तो 40 से ऊपर जा रहा था, every second its velocity is decreasing with 10 meter per second. 40 से जा रहा था, एक सेकंड में कितनी हो गई? 30. फिर एक सेकंड में 20, फिर एक सेकंड में 10 और फिर एक सेकंड में 0. बस खत्म. 4 सेकंड्स थे हमारे पास. इनिशियल थी 40, एक सेकंड में 10 से कम हो गई, इट हैज बिकम 30. अगले सेकंड 20, देन 10 एंड देन 0. बस इसमें हमें ये सब करने की जरूरत है ही नहीं. डायरेक्टली वी कैन से कि अगर 40 थी, एक सेकंड में 10 से कम होती है, 4 सेकंड में 40 से कम हो जाएगी, तो 40 थी 40 से कम हो गई तो 0 हो जाएगी. सो फाइनल वेलोसिटी विल बी 0. ऑप्शन 4. क्वेश्चन नंबर 56. Question number 56. Question number 56 is the displacement of a particle as function of time is shown in the figure. The figure indicates that. So figure कुछ इस तरीके से है. We have a displacement time graph. This is time axis. T is equal to 0, t is equal to 2 seconds, t is equal to 4 seconds, t is equal to 6 seconds. And this is displacement. First is the particle is at rest. The particle is at rest up to t is equal to 2 seconds. Particle is at rest up to t is equal to 2 seconds. Is it true? Particle is at rest up to t is equal to 2 seconds. Is it true? Yes. यहाँ पे क्या है? जो पोजीशन थी पहले at t is equal to whatever position was there, at t is equal to 2 second वही पोजीशन है, and throughout this interval from 0 to 2 इसकी पोजीशन वही है, मतलब वही बैठा हुआ है. Whatever is the position, इसको जो भी बोल दो, h या x या जो भी x1. So particle was at x1 from t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 2. The motion is accelerated and finally the particle moves with another constant velocity. ठीक है? The motion is accelerated and finally the particle moves with another constant velocity. Is it true? So what we can see here, यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? इसका ग्राफ कुछ ऐसे आ रहा है. मैंने आपको बहुत पहले बताया था कि if velocity is constant, then how will be the displacement time curve? It will be a straight line, है ना? Straight line with some slope. So if velocity is constant, then straight line, the graph of displacement time will be straight line with some slope. But in this part, from t is equal to 2 to t is equal to 4, does it have a constant slope? No. इसका slope कैसा है? Increasing. Initially slope was some positive, increases, increased. Slope is continuously increasing from 2 to 4. If you see in this interval, आपको एक पैराबोला ओपन अप टाइप का ग्राफ दिखाई दे रहा है. फ्रॉम 2 to 4 आपको एक पैराबोला ओपन अप टाइप का ग्राफ दिखाई दे रहा है. इट मींस velocity is increasing and you can see the slope is increasing. If the slope of xt curve, if the slope of displacement time curve is constant, it means velocity is constant. If the slope of xt curve is increasing, it means velocity is increasing. If velocity is increasing, it means we have an acceleration. So यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, velocity has increased. इस पॉइंट पे स्लोप कैसा आ रहा है, समथिंग लाइक दिस. सो वेलोसिटी वाज कुछ वेलोसिटी हायर थी, बट सडनली व्हाट हैपेंड, एट t इज इक्वल टू 4 वेलोसिटी कम हो गई. यहाँ पे स्लोप था ऐसे, बट अभी स्लोप कैसा है, ऐसे. इट मींस वेलोसिटी यहाँ पे जो कुछ वेलोसिटी पे पहुंचा है ना, विद दैट एक्सेलरेशन दैट पार्टिकल हैज रीच्ड अप टू सम वेलोसिटी, बट सडनली इट हैज डिक्रीज्ड इट्स वेलोसिटी, or it is moving with a constant velocity from t is equal to 4 to t is equal to 6. Now in this part, from t is equal to 4 to t is equal to 6, we have a constant velocity because we have a constant slope of xt curve. It means in this interval of time, the velocity is constant. So first option is correct. The particle is at rest up to t is equal to 2 seconds. The motion is accelerated and finally the particle moves with another constant velocity. Correct. Question option 2, the particle starts with a constant velocity. शुरुआत ही गलत है. Does particle start with constant velocity? नहीं. At t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 2 seconds, particle is not moving at all. So there is no velocity. The particle starts with a constant velocity and moves for 2 seconds. No, but the motion is retarded, which is completely wrong. The motion is retarded and finally the particle stops. Complete statement is wrong. Here velocity is increasing and then suddenly it has decreased and some other velocity we have. So option 2 is wrong. Obviously if option 1 is correct, then option 2 has to be wrong. Next, third option is the acceleration of the particle is constant throughout. The acceleration of particle is constant throughout. No, here we have zero acceleration, no acceleration at all. Here we have some acceleration and again यहाँ पे acceleration is zero because velocity is constant. Option 4, the velocity of particle is constant throughout. No, constant throughout means velocity of particle is constant throughout. Means throughout the journey or throughout the time interval, we are going to have a constant slope for xt curve. If acceleration is constant throughout, it means graph will be something like this, है ना, parabolic. If constant acceleration, then xt graph we get parabola. आपको याद होगा शायद, होना ही चाहिए, ठीक है. इसके बाद क्वेश्चन नंबर 57, the displacement time graph of a moving particle is shown below. The velocity of particle is constant for the interval. Velocity of the particle is constant for the interval AB, AC, BC, CD. Let's see. So graph is something like this. Here again we have a parabola kind of nature and then constant and then again parabola open down. This is parabola open up, this is constant, this is parabola open down. Point A, point B, point C and point D. These are the different values of time and this is displacement x. So for which time interval the velocity of the particle is constant? For constant velocity, what is the condition of xt graph? The slope of line should be constant. Do we have a constant slope in this part? No. Slope is increasing. It means velocity is not constant. Next is AC. So here velocity is increasing, here velocity is constant. So in AC also we don't have a constant velocity. In part BC, yes, here we have a constant slope. The slope is not changing. It means velocity is constant. So for interval BC, we have a constant velocity. Then CD. Again in CD velocity is, first it was 0, it is decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. है ना? Negative में decreasing मतलब आपकी velocity का magnitude increase हो रहा है, but it has a negative direction. So constant velocity is for interval BC. Next, question number 58. In question number 58, figure shows the velocity time graph of a particle moving along straight line and v is meter per second, t is in seconds. Its average velocity in 75 seconds will be. Average velocity in 75 seconds. Again, what we have to do? We have to find out average velocity in 75 seconds. Here velocity is continuously changing from 0 to 15 velocity is increasing, from A to B, I mean time is equal to 15 to 45 velocity is constant, and from B to C velocity is again decreasing, and at t is equal to t is equal to 75 or the point C velocity has become 0. So we have to find out the average velocity. We have different velocity at different times, but we can find out a constant which is called average for the complete time interval. So what we have to do to find that value? We should take the total displacement in that time interval divided by total time of the interval. So V average will be total displacement. How we will find total displacement if we have VT curve? For VT curve, to find out displacement, what we should do? We should take the area under the VT curve. So we can find out, this is a trapezium, we can find out the area of this trapezium. So either you can take two triangles and one square, or directly you can use the trapezium area. So we have sum of parallel side, which is 75, है ना? From origin to point C, it is 75, and from A to B, it is 30. So this is the sum of sides into height. Height is what? 60 divided by 2. 2 already किया हमने. अगर आपको doubt है, then this is 75, this is 45, 60, 15, 30 and 0. This is 60. So this is a trapezium. These are the two parallel sides. This is the height of the trapezium. Sum of parallel sides 75 plus 30 into height, which is 60 divided by 2. कितना जाएगा ये? 30, 105 into 30. ये आ गया 3150. It means 3.15 kilometers. आगे हमारे पास this is the displacement. Now what we have to do? We have to divide it with time. Time कितना है? 75 seconds. So यहाँ पे करेंगे हम 75 seconds. कितना आ जाएगा ये? This is equals to 42 meter per second. If you solve this, you will get average velocity is equal to 42 meter per second. So option 4th will be correct. So next है question number 59. A hall has a dimensions 20 meter into 20 meter into 10 meter. A fly starting at one corner ends up at a diagonally opposite corner. The magnitude of its displacement is nearly. So this kind of problem we had in our module and we had solved it. तो कैसे करते हैं हम लोग? If we have a cube or cuboid जो भी है, so how we can find out the body diagonal? So first what we'll do, we'll find out the face diagonal and then we'll find out the body diagonal. So if we have a cuboid like this, what we can do? First take this face, so this plus this. These are going to be 90 degree. In diagram it is not looking like that, but if you take a floor and you take edge of the floor, definitely they are at 90 degrees. आपके जैसे यहाँ पे हमने लिया, this is a floor. So this is one side, this is another side, and this will be the, this is one side, this is another side. This will be the face diagonal of the floor. So this square of this plus square of this will give us the square of this. ठीक है? तो we have got this square plus this square is equal to this square. Now इसको ऐसे कर दो. Basically floor ही है ना ये. अब हमने क्या किया? So this is the diagonal of the floor. Now what we have to do? We have to go from this point to this point. So what we'll do? Square of this plus square of this. Again, if we take any line on the floor, this height or this line or this line or this line is going to be perpendicular to that line. इस फ्लोर पे मैं कोई भी लाइन लूं, मैंने एक लाइन लिया मान लो ऐसे, एक लाइन मैंने लिया ऐसे, उस पे अगर मैंने हाइट को, जैसे ये फ्लोर है और मैंने ऐसे हाइट वाले वर्टिकली अपवर्ड एक लाइन लिया, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी परपेंडिकुलर टू दिस लाइन. अगर मैंने ऐसे लाइन लिया, इट इज गोइंग टू बी परपेंडिकुलर. अगर मैंने ऐसे लाइन लिया तो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी परपेंडिकुलर टू दैट. सो व्हाट वी हैव, आई हैव फाउंड आउट कि फेज डायगोनल क्या है ना? सो दिस इज द डायगोनल ऑफ द फ्लोर. अब इसमें क्या करो, एड स्क्वायर ऑफ दिस प्लस स्क्वायर ऑफ दिस, इट विल गिव अस द दिस डायगोनल, स्क्वायर ऑफ दिस डायगोनल. तो हम लोग यहाँ पे बेसिकली क्या करने वाले हैं, ये आ गया आपका फेज डायगोनल, तो इसका स्क्वायर प्लस इसका स्क्वायर विल गिव अस द स्क्वायर ऑफ बॉडी डायगोनल. सो नाउ वी हैव 20 20 10. सो क्या आएगा यहाँ से हमारे पास 20 and 20. इसका पाइथागोरस थ्योरम से लगाएंगे तो व्हाट विल गेट 20√2. नाउ 20√2 स्क्वायर प्लस 10 स्क्वायर, इसका रूट लेंगे तो क्या मिलेगा, बॉडी डायगोनल. सो 20√2 स्क्वायर विल बी 800 है ना. स्क्वायर ऑफ दिस इज 400 एंड स्क्वायर ऑफ दिस इज 2. सो इट हैज बिकम 800 प्लस 100. सो व्हाट विल गेट √900 equals to 30. So body diagonal, the magnitude of displacement is nearly 30 meter because that fly has moved from this corner to this corner. It means it has traveled the body diagonal as its displacement. So displacement will be 30 meters. Question number 60. Which of the following is a one-dimensional motion? Which of the following is one-dimensional motion? Landing of an aircraft. एयरक्राफ्ट की लैंडिंग तो देखा ही होगा, ऐसे जाता है वो, ठीक है. तो इज दैट स्ट्रेट लाइन मोशन? नहीं. अगर वो ऐसे जा रहा होता या ऐसे जा रहा होता, किसी भी एक लाइन में कॉन्स्टेंटली मूविंग इन ऑन अ लाइन, दैट इज अ वन डायमेंशनल मोशन. अर्थ रिवॉल्विंग अराउंड द सन, इट हैज अ इलिप्टिकल पाथ, तो डेफिनेटली इट इज नॉट अ वन डायमेंशनल मोशन. मोशन ऑफ व्हील्स ऑन अ मूविंग ट्रेन. व्हील्स कैसे मूव कर रहे हैं, ऐसे ऐसे, तो उसमें तो रोटेशन भी है. और मोशन ऑफ व्हील्स ऑन अ मूविंग ट्रेन, तो ट्रेन भी भाई कहीं तो टर्न लेगी ना, थोड़ा बहुत तो टर्न लेगी. सो इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी वन डायमेंशनल मोशन. ट्रेन रनिंग ऑन अ स्ट्रेट ट्रैक. ट्रेन रनिंग ऑन अ स्ट्रेट ट्रैक, हमें पहले ही बोल दिया कि इट इज मूविंग ऑन अ स्ट्रेट ट्रैक, इट मींस इट इज मूविंग इन वन डायमेंशनल मोशन. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 61. In 61 we have to find out the integration, simple integration. So what we have, 61 is 1 by root x, integration 1 by root x dx. So यहाँ पे क्या जाएगा, इसको हम लिख सकते हैं x to the power minus half dx. And what is the integration? We have, if we have x to the power n, then what we'll get, x to the power, for x to the power n we'll get the integration x to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, है ना. x to the power n plus 1 and divided by n plus 1, तो यहाँ पे हमारे पास क्या जाएगा, x to the power minus half plus 1 divided by minus half plus 1. So what we'll get, it is plus half, it is plus half. x to the power half means root x, और यहाँ पे नीचे plus half, तो ये ऊपर आ जाएगा, और plus c तो definitely आएगा because we don't have any limits on the integral. So what we'll get, root x 2 root x plus c, option 2. Question number 62. If integral sec x dx is equal to m plus c, where c is a constant, then m is. So what we have? We have integration sec x dx is equal to m plus c. ठीक है? So now we have to find out the value of m. So basically we have to find out the integration. So what we'll do, आपको शायद बताया गया होगा, sec x, यहाँ पे मल्टीप्लाई करो sec x plus tan x and divide it with sec x plus tan x into dx. यहाँ पे what I did, I have multiplied and divided with a same value, so overall it is not going to change. So now we can find out the integration of this. So ऊपर क्या करेंगे, हम sec को अंदर मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे and then ऊपर क्या जाएगा, sec square x plus sec x tan x divided by sec x plus tan x dx. अब क्या करेंगे, take this as t, sec x plus tan x is equal to t. So if you differentiate this, differentiation of this will be sec x and tan x plus differentiation of this will be sec square x is equal to, और डेफिनेटली dx आएगा ना. या फिर आप क्या करो, दिस, इसको पूरे को डिफरेंशिएट करो विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू x, तो ऐसा लिख सकते हैं इधर dt by dx इज इक्वल टू इसका डिफरेंशिएशन। तो यहाँ से हमारे पास क्या आया, इस dx को इधर लेके आ जाओ, तो व्हाट आई हैव, देखो ये मैच हो रहा है इससे, sec स्क्वायर x प्लस sec x tan x dx, ये ऊपर आ गया। तो अब व्हाट आई कैन राइट, इसको आई कैन राइट दिस होल थिंग हैज बिकम dt, दिस होल थिंग हैज बिकम dt डिवाइडेड बाय ये क्या आ गया, दिस इज t। तो यहाँ पे इसका इंटीग्रेशन क्या आ जाएगा, 1/t का इंटीग्रेशन क्या होता है, ln t प्लस c। तो ln t इज ln sec x प्लस tan x प्लस c। अब यहाँ पे दिस वैल्यू कैन बी नेगेटिव ऑल्सो, और ln में यहाँ नेगेटिव नहीं आता, इसलिए हम यहाँ पे लगा देते हैं मॉड। बाकी ऐसे टाइप के क्वेश्चन आपको ज्यादा नहीं आएंगे जिसमें आपको इस तरीके से इंटीग्रेट करना पड़े, आपको इंटीग्रेशन के सिंपल क्वेश्चन आएंगे। ये क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे आ गया है, बट इस अगर आप नहीं कर पाए हैं तो टेंशन लेने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, इट्स ओके। नेक्स्ट है क्वेश्चन नंबर 63, y is equal to 1 by x to the power 4, then dy by dx will be, y is equal to 1 by x to the power 4, then dy by dx will be। so dy by dx क्या जाएगा, यहाँ पे इसको बेसिकली हम क्या लिख सकते हैं, x to the power -4, तो यहाँ पे आ जाएगा x to the power -4 -1, और यहाँ पे आ जाएगा -4, ठीक है। तो ये बन जाएगा -4 x to the power -5। तो अगर इसको डिनोमिनेटर में लेके जाएंगे, जो कि हमारे पास यहाँ पे डिनोमिनेटर में ही गिवन है, तो क्या आ जाएगा -4 डिवाइडेड बाई x to the power 5, दैट इज थर्ड ऑप्शन। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 64, y is equal to sin x and x is equal to 3t, then dy by dt will be। तो इसको आप क्या कर सकते हो, डायरेक्टली पुट द वैल्यू ऑफ x in y is equal to sin x and solve it। so what we have, y is equal to sin x and x is equal to 3t, and we have to find out dy by dt। so dy by dt को what I can write, dy by dx into dx by dt। ऐसा क्यों किया मैंने, because I have relation by x and xt। तो यहाँ से I can find out dy by dx which is nothing but cos x। यहाँ पे है x, so dx by dt I can write 3। I have differentiated this with respect to time, तो यहाँ पे क्या जाएगा dx by dt, और यहाँ पे आ जाएगा 3। differentiation of this with respect to time will be 3। now multiply these two, तो dy by dt dy by dx into dx by dt क्या होगा, we'll get dy by dt is equal to 3 into cos x, 3 into cos x, ठीक है। तो आप या तो ऐसे कर सकते हो, so basically dy by dt will be 3 into cos x, और अब यहाँ पे t के टर्म्स में गिवन है, तो क्या कर सकते हैं, 3 into cos x क्या है, x is 3t, तो 3t रख देंगे, तो क्या आएगा 3 cos 3t। तो या तो आप ऐसे कर सकते हो, और you can directly put the value, क्या कर सकते हैं, और इसको क्या करो डायरेक्टली यहाँ पे y is equal to sin x, x is equal to 3t, तो y is equal to sin 3t, ऐसे कर सकते हैं। so, अब इसको डिफरेंशिएट करेंगे तो यहाँ चेन रूल लगेगा, बिकॉज वी हैव साइन, यहाँ पे एक फंक्शन विच यहाँ पे एक वेरिएबल विच इज नॉट अ वेरिएबल, इट इज अ फंक्शन। तो पहले क्या करेंगे हम, dy by dt हमें फाइंड आउट करना है ना, मतलब बेसिकली वी आर डिफरेंशिएटिंग बोथ द साइड विद रिस्पेक्ट टू t। इफ यू आर डिफरेंशिएटिंग बोथ द साइड विद रिस्पेक्ट टू t, व्हाट विल डू, पहले भूल जाओ कि यहाँ पे 3t है, जस्ट इमेजिन वी हैव साइन एंड डब्बा, साइन एंड बॉक्स, तो डिफरेंशिएशन क्या आएगा, cos box, cos and जो भी बॉक्स में है, हमें नहीं पता क्या है। now we know कि that box doesn't carry a simple variable, it doesn't have just x or just y or just t or just k, है ना, it has some function is 3t। so again differentiate the content in that box, तो क्या आ जाएगा, into इसको differentiate किया, that is called the chain rule। आप पहले मानते हो कि सिर्फ वही फंक्शन है, only sign is there, sign and variable, but if there is not a just variable but a function, then we have to differentiate that function again। तो इसको differentiate करो फिर से, so what will get, differentiation of 3t with respect to t will be 3, so what will get 3 cos 3t। so if you want to do it like this कर सकते हो, if you want to do it like this आप definitely कर सकते हो। sometimes here what happened, we can directly put the value of x here and we found out the actual relation between y and t, and we just differentiated it with respect to time, we got the dy by dt। but sometimes we will have to use this equation। मान लो यहाँ पे था cos x is equal to 3t, we have y is equal to sin x and cos x is equal to 3t. Now if we have to find out dy by dt, can we replace x with t? Can we replace, यहाँ पे cos inverse लेना पड़ेगा. It will become complicated. So what we'll do? First we'll find out dy by dx and then we'll find out dx by dt. उसके बाद हम दोनों को multiply कर लेंगे. We'll get the dy by dt. So यहाँ पे we have used this kind of method, but कभी-कभी आपको ये use करना पड़ जाता है, तो ये भी आपको आना चाहिए. Question 65. Question number 65 में है if mod of a is equal to 20, mod of b is equal to 40 and angle between two vectors a and b is theta is equal to 53 degree, then a dot b will be. So this kind of problem we had in last paper also, but some different values we had I think. So आप ये बिल्कुल कर सकते हो. A dot b is nothing but a b cos theta. A dot b is mod a mod b into cos theta. So here we have mod a 20 into mod b 40 into cos 53. Cos 53 is 3 by 5. तो 20 into 40 into 3 by 5 कितना आ जाएगा? हमारे पास आएगा 20 into 40 into 3 by 5. ये आ गया 4. तो 160 into 3. 480 is the value of a dot b. 480 is the value of a dot b. आप बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं ये. So first answer will be the correct, first option. Question number 66. Velocity of a particle varies with position x according to vx 2x plus 5x square. The acceleration of the particle as a function of x will be. So if you have, how we can relate vx and a, acceleration, velocity and displacement. We have vt x में relation होता है dx by dt is equal to v, dv by dt is equal to a, and one more relation we have v dv by dx is equal to a. So when we say v dv by dx is equal to a, in that relation what we have? We have v, we have x and we have a. So whenever you have to relate x, v and a, we'll use v dv by dx. So यहाँ पे हम क्या करेंगे? हमारे पास v है, dv by dx we can find out, differentiate this expression with respect to x and we'll get the dv by dx. So we have v is equal to 2x plus 5x square. dv by dx is equal to 2 plus 10x. So a will be v dv by dx. ये तो आपको पता है. So v is 2x plus 5x square into 2 plus 10x. If you multiply it, both the brackets, what will get? 50x cube है ना, plus 10x square 20x square 30x square plus 4x. So a is equal to 50x cube plus 30x square plus 4x. Option 4. Next question is 67. Dot product of two mutual perpendicular vector is. It's 0. आपको याद हो गया होगा. Dot product is a b cos theta. If the vectors are perpendicular, it means theta is equal to 90 degree and cos theta is 0. So dot product of two mutual perpendicular vector is 0. Question number 68. If a is equal to 2i cap plus alpha j cap plus 3k cap, 2 alpha 3 is vector a and vector b is 2, 1 and 0 are perpendicular to each other, then find alpha. So if they are perpendicular to each other, it means how we can find out alpha? We know if the vectors are perpendicular, their dot product is going to be 0, and if we take dot product 2 into 2, 4, alpha into 1, alpha, 3 into 0, 0 is equal to 0. It means alpha has to be minus 4. If the vectors are perpendicular, it means their dot product should be 0, and if dot product has to be 0, we'll get alpha is equal to minus 4. Next, question number 69. The displacement time graph of a moving object is shown in the figure. The velocity time graph representing the motion of the same body is. So we have a open down parabola. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40. So we have to find out velocity time graph. So first graph is something like this, है ना, ऐसे कुछ है, इस तरीके से first graph. So first graph shows us that velocity is increasing and then velocity is decreasing. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? This is V, this is T. So velocity is increasing, it increased up to a maximum value and then velocity is decreasing. So in this case what we can see, initially there was some velocity, positive velocity, because ये क्या है हमारे पास xt graph, displacement time graph. So initially the slope was positive, it means initial velocity was positive. Slowly slope has decreased and now it has become 0. So velocity initially it was positive and it has decreased to 0 and then slowly slope has become negative and negative में अब increase हो रहा है, तो फिर velocity कैसी हो गई? Negative. It means velocity is increasing, becoming 0 and then it is decreasing. ऐसा किस ग्राफ में है? यहाँ पे क्या है? Velocity is increasing and then decreasing, है ना, लेकिन इसमें क्या है? Decreasing, पॉजिटिव से 0 and 0 से नेगेटिव. तो ये किस ग्राफ में आएगा? फर्स्ट ग्राफ तो गलत दिखा रहा है, इसमें पहले बोल रहा है कि वेलोसिटी इज इंक्रीजिंग एंड देन वेलोसिटी इज डिक्रीजिंग. आल्सो इन फर्स्ट ग्राफ वेलोसिटी इज ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव, इट इज ऑलवेज अबव टाइम एक्सिस, इट मींस वेलोसिटी इज ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव. डू वी हैव वेलोसिटी पॉजिटिव ऑल द टाइम? नो. यहाँ पे वेलोसिटी का, यहाँ पे xt का स्लोप क्या है? पॉजिटिव, इट मींस वेलोसिटी इज पॉजिटिव. यहाँ पे वेलोसिटी 0, यहाँ पे स्लोप इज नेगेटिव, इट मींस वेलोसिटी इज नेगेटिव. So first graph is wrong. Second graph shows us the velocity as constant, which is again wrong. Third graph is correct because initially we had some velocity, some constant velocity, some positive velocity, and then slowly it has decreased, it has become 0, and then further it has increased in negative direction, है ना. इसका मैग्नीट्यूड अगर देखो तो यहाँ पे आके कुछ -10 हो गया होगा मान लो. So velocity is in negative and its magnitude is increasing because slope is negative but slope is, magnitude of slope is increasing. So we'll have third option as the answer. Next है question number 70. Question number 70 में आपके पास the figure shows the position of a particle moving on the x-axis as a function of time. The incorrect statement is, so graph is something like this. ठीक है, and this is the point B, C, D and E. This is A. Displacement versus time. So first option is the average velocity of the total period is negative. We have to find out the incorrect statement. The average velocity of the total period is negative. First thing, how you will calculate the average velocity? Average velocity कैसे निकालोगे? तो you need the total displacement. टोटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट हाउ विल यू फाइंड आउट? टोटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट कैसे निकालोगे? यहाँ पे एवरेज वेलोसिटी के लिए आपको निकालना है टोटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट डिवाइडेड बाय टोटल टाइम. तो यहाँ पे हमारा टोटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट आफ्टर, मान लो इस पॉइंट की हम बात करें तो आफ्टर दिस टाइम और डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज नेगेटिव और पॉजिटिव. आफ्टर दिस इंटरवल जस्ट एज्यूम कि यहाँ पे हमारा पार्टिकल का मोशन खत्म हो रहा है एज शोन इन द ग्राफ. तो व्हाट वी हैव, डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव? Displacement is positive. So what we'll do? We will take the total displacement divided by total time. So this graph is of displacement. तो यहाँ पे after the complete time interval we have a positive displacement. So if displacement is positive, then how come velocity will be negative? It means first option itself is wrong. So answer तो first option हो जाएगा. But देखते हैं 2, 3, 4 correct है या नहीं. The speed is constant from A to B and C to D. Do we have a constant speed? हाँ. Slope of displacement time graph is constant. Slope of displacement time graph is constant in part AB and in part CD. वो अलग बात है कि in this part we have a positive slope, in this part we have a negative slope. It means in this part we have a positive velocity and यहाँ पे negative velocity. So second option is correct. Velocity is negative in C to D. Velocity in C to D is negative. Yes, because slope is negative. The particle has come to rest once. Particle comes to rest मतलब slope of displacement time graph will be 0. अगर आपको displacement time graph से देखना है कि velocity is 0. Velocity 0 कब होगी? When slope of displacement time graph will be 0. Slope कहाँ पे 0 है? यहाँ पे कहीं पे 0 है slope? नहीं, ये तो कुछ positive slope है. यहाँ पे slope has decreased and यहाँ पे slope is 0. यहाँ पे tangent drawn to this curve is parallel to time axis, it means slope is 0. So in interval B to C it has come to rest. अगेन इसकी वेलोसिटी इंक्रीज हुई है, यहाँ पे सडनली नेगेटिव है फॉर दिस इंटरवल, वेलोसिटी इज नेगेटिव एंड अगेन यहाँ पे क्या हो रही है, वेलोसिटी इज इंक्रीजिंग। ये यहाँ पे स्लोप समथिंग लाइक दिस, ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं है क्योंकि यहाँ पे फिर अगेन क्या हो जाएगा, स्लोप विल बी 0, तो ई पे भी वो रेस्ट में आ जाएगा, बट ग्राफ ऐसा नहीं है, यहाँ पे स्लोप इज नॉट 0, ठीक है। सो आंसर विल बी द फर्स्ट ऑप्शन। नेक्स्ट है क्वेश्चन नंबर 71, mark the incorrect statement among the following. First is a particle can have zero velocity and non-zero acceleration. सोचो, is this possible? Zero velocity and non-zero acceleration. Yes. When you throw an object in upward direction, what happens? You will throw with some velocity. It will go up to some height and it comes back. But at highest point, its velocity is zero. But does it have zero acceleration? No, g is always 10 meter per second square. उस पे हमेशा g लग रहा है, which is 10 meter per second square. So at that instant it has a zero velocity and non-zero acceleration. ठीक है। Again कई बार क्या होता है कि हम लोग क्वेश्चंस देखते हैं, a particle है is moving in this direction और फिर वो टर्न लेके ऐसे आ गया, it means उसका कुछ ना कुछ एक्सेलरेशन रहा होगा इधर। इनिशियली उसके पास कुछ वेलोसिटी थी इन दिस डायरेक्शन, बट एक्सेलरेशन वाज कंटिन्यूअसली इन दिस डायरेक्शन। सो स्लोली वो स्लो डाउन हुआ, फिर उसने टर्न लिया और वापस आ गया। तो एट दिस टर्न यहाँ पे वेलोसिटी इज 0, इन दिस पार्ट वेलोसिटी इज पॉजिटिव, इन दिस पार्ट वेलोसिटी इज नेगेटिव, एट दिस पॉइंट वेलोसिटी इज 0। सो अगेन वेलोसिटी इज 0, एक्सेलरेशन नॉन 0। सेकेंड, अ पार्टिकल कैन हैव zero displacement and non-zero velocity. A particle can have zero displacement and non-zero velocity. ठीक है। अब यहाँ पे जैसे इस पॉइंट पे देखो, if I take the case that it has a constant acceleration, in this case the particle has constant acceleration which is in this direction. So what will happen? This particle started from here, it moved up to this point, it took turn and then it came back like this. So if you see at this particular time when the particle has come back to this point, कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ, ऐसे गया, फिर ऐसे आया, और जब यहाँ पे आया at this point it has some velocity, यहाँ पे velocity 0 थी, but because we have a constant acceleration its velocity is continuously increasing. So इस point पे क्या velocity 0 होगी? No, इसकी कुछ ना कुछ वैल्यू होगी ना, because a है उसके पास, यहाँ पे initial velocity 0 थी, इतना सारा टाइम उसने कंज्यूम कर लिया है, इट मींस एट दिस पॉइंट इट हैज सम नॉन जीरो वेलोसिटी, ठीक, बट एट दिस पॉइंट इट हैज कम बैक टू इट्स ओरिजिनल पोजीशन. So at this particular instant its displacement is 0 but velocity is not 0. So second option is also correct. A particle can have zero acceleration and non-zero velocity. A particle can have zero acceleration and non-zero velocity. हाँ, if we are moving with a constant velocity, our acceleration is definitely 0, but our velocity is non-zero. So third option is also correct. तो definitely a fourth option ही wrong होगा. A particle can have zero displacement and non-zero average velocity. Average velocity के फॉर्मूले में ही आता है V average is equal to total displacement divided by total time. Total displacement divided by total time. If we have zero displacement, if we have an interval जिसमें जो average जिसमें total displacement is 0, like in this case total displacement is 0, particle started from here and came back to here, तो इस total interval में total displacement 0 हो गया, तो average velocity तो वैसे ही 0 हो जाएगी, क्योंकि average velocity is the velocity in that interval, उसका average लेते हैं. बट इंस्टेंटेनियस हो सकती है, इंस्टेंट यहाँ पे जो ये वेलोसिटी है इंस्टेंटेनियस वेलोसिटी इज नॉन जीरो, बट एवरेज वेलोसिटी इसमें क्या आएगी, जीरो, बिकॉज टोटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज जीरो. सो इफ पार्टिकल कैन हैव जीरो डिस्प्लेसमेंट एंड नॉन जीरो एवरेज वेलोसिटी, इट इज रॉन्ग. पार्टिकल कैन हैव जीरो डिस्प्लेसमेंट एंड नॉन जीरो इंस्टेंटेनियस वेलोसिटी, बट एवरेज वेलोसिटी कैन नॉट बी नॉन जीरो इफ द पार्टिकल हैज जीरो डिस्प्लेसमेंट. सो ऑप्शन फोर्थ इज रॉन्ग. सो आंसर विल बी 4. Question number 72. A particle moves with uniform velocity. Which of the following statement about the motion of the particle is true? Its speed is 0. भाई कैसे, if it is moving तो speed 0 हो ही नहीं सकती ना, तो speed cannot be 0. तो first option is wrong. Its acceleration is 0. हाँ, if a particle is moving with uniform velocity, it means इसका direction fixed, इसका magnitude fixed है ना, displacement जो speed है वो fixed and velocity is fixed, it means acceleration is 0. you can move it with constant velocity. Uniform velocity मतलब constant velocity. You can move with uniform velocity only if acceleration is 0. So the second option is correct. Third is its acceleration opposite to the velocity. If we have any acceleration, velocity cannot be constant or velocity cannot be uniform. So third option is wrong. Its speed may be variable. No, if its speed is changing, it means its velocity is changing. So speed cannot be variable. So second option is correct. Its acceleration is going to be 0. In the next question, it says dimensional formula for angular momentum is. So dimensional formula for angular momentum. So you have not studied angular momentum now, but you will be studying this in rotational motion. But I think you must know that angular momentum can be found, or it has formula is equal to R. Angular momentum is equal to R cross mv. Many of the things you don't know, like dot cross product you don't know now, but you will be knowing this soon. So we can represent it like this: R m into v, where R is distance, m is mass, and v is velocity. R is distance, m is mass, and v is velocity. So if you know the formula, you can definitely find out the dimensions of that particular quantity. So for R, what we'll write? This is distance, so L. For this m, this is mass, so m, and this is meter per second. So meter per second, it means again L and t minus 1. So it will become m1, L2 and t minus 1. This will be the dimensional formula of angular momentum. m1, L2 and t minus 1. Option 4. Question number 74. A certain physical quantity is calculated from the formula pi by 3 a square minus b square into h, whatever it is, let's say p, where h, a and b are all lengths. This is length, a is length, b is length, and h is length. So basically what we are doing here, this is a length, and this is the length, square of length. This is the square of length. This is the square of length. So this whole thing will become square of length. And again we are multiplying the length. So basically it is length cube. It is length cube. So maybe this formula, or definitely this formula is to find out some volume, है ना? Because here we have length square and again we have length. So it is a length cube. So this formula is for finding out volume. So this quantity being calculated is volume. Velocity means length by time. Your distance by time. So we don't have a factor of time here. Length, no, definitely not, because यहाँ पे we have length cube. Third was area. Area is length square, and fourth is volume. Volume is length cube. So answer will be fourth option. Question number 75. A force is given by F is equal to AT plus BT square. F is equal to AT plus BT square. F is equal to AT plus BT square. And we have to tell the dimensions of A and B. We have to tell the dimensions of A and B. If this is a force, this has to be force, this has to be force. Then only we can add these two terms. It means this will be in Newton or kg meter per second, or what we can say ml t minus kg meter per second square. So mlt minus 2. This will be in Newton and this will be in Newton. So AT is going to be Newton, or we can say ml t minus 2. This dimensional formula for A we don't know, and dimensional formula for this will be T is equal to ml t minus 2. So for A it will become mlt. If it goes that side, it will become t minus 3. And similarly when we have bt square, so यहाँ पे आ जाएगा t square. So that side when it goes, it will become t to the power minus 4. So please don't write all these things. When you are doing it in paper, don't write all these things. From here you can directly say that A has to be Newton per second. है ना? A has to be Newton per second. Then only when we'll multiply time, it will become Newton. This has to be Newton per second square. Then when we will multiply second square, it will become Newton. So if we have bt square and it has to be equal to Newton, then B will be Newton per second square. Directly we can do. Take this term in that side, and that side what we have? Newton. So Newton into t to the power minus 2. So from there we can find out the dimensional formula. So answer will be 1 mlt minus 3 for A and mlt minus 4 for B. ठीक है. Question number 76. Which of the following does not have dimensions of force? Which of the following does not have dimensions of force? Tension. Tension is a force, so definitely it will have dimension of force. Second is weight. Weight is also a force, है ना? तो it will have the dimension of force. Rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of momentum. So rate of change of momentum क्या है? Momentum is P is equal to mv. We will just talk about the magnitude for now. So P is equal to mv. Rate of change of momentum means dp divided by dt, dmv divided by dt. Later you will be studying all this in units and dimension. You have studied so many things that you don't know at all, but slowly you will be studying it in further your topics when NLM will come, modern physics, your electrostatics and all those things. So here we have dp by dt is equal to dmv by dt. So this is the rate of change of momentum. So let's see, does this quantity becomes equal to force? So here we'll have, if we differentiate this, mass is constant, mass doesn't change, velocity changes. So mass into dv by dt. dv by dt is nothing but, this is rate of change of velocity. It means it is acceleration. So m into a. m into a is nothing but force. इतना तो आप जानते हो ना? तो ma is nothing but force. It means rate of change of momentum is also force. Fourth is momentum. अगर rate of change of momentum हमारा force के बराबर है, then momentum cannot be equal to force. Momentum is m into v. That is kg meter per second. But force is kg meter per second square. So momentum does not have dimensions of force. Question number 77. If P and Q have different non-zero dimensions, which of the following operations is possible? यहाँ पे हमें बोला कि P and Q are having different dimensions. So आपको पता है कि if they have different dimensions, then we cannot add or subtract for sure. ठीक है? So first जो operation है P plus Q हम नहीं कर सकते. We cannot add 10 horses plus 4 elephants. नहीं कर सकते ना वैसे. तो P plus Q is not possible. P minus Q is not possible. P by Q is possible, है ना? P by Q is possible. So we have got one answer. इसका मतलब fourth option wrong होगा. तो क्या हम 1 minus P by Q कर सकते हैं? No, because this is dimensionless. This is a number. ये dimensionless है. If these two have different dimensions, then their division cannot become a dimensionless quantity. इनका division dimensionless quantity नहीं बन पाएगा. So we cannot subtract this from this. So fourth operation is also not possible. So operation possible will be third. Question number 78. A vector of length L is turned through an angle theta about its tail. What is the change in the position of its head? We have turned the vector about its tail by an angle theta. Then what is the change in the position of its head? So initially we have a vector like this of length L. Now what we have done, about its tail, which is this is head, this is tail. So about the tail we have rotated this vector by an angle theta. Let's say like this. ठीक है? तो क्या होगा? Of the same length L we have another vector. This was vector 1 and this was vector 2. Let's say this is A vector and this is B vector. So now we have to tell the change in position of its head. So initially head was here and now head is here. So change in position क्या होगा? From initial to final. It has displaced from this point to this point. So basically we have to find out this vector. What is the change in position of the head of the vector? So initially the head was here, finally head is here. So change in position क्या होगा? From here to here. It has displaced from this point to this point. so that vector, the vector which or this length कि कितना change हो गया है. So basically we have to find this ना. कैसे find out करेंगे? तो हमें पता है कि if we have two vectors like this, then this is the sum of the vectors. If this is A and this is B, then this is A plus B and this is A minus B, है ना? क्या है हमारे पास? A, B. If this is A, this is B. So what we'll get? The resultant A plus B will be like this, no doubt. This is A, B. I can put this B here. तो क्या बन जाएगा? A plus B. This vector is A plus B, resultant of A and B. And if I want to find out A minus B, what I'll do? I'll take minus of B. So if this is B, minus B will be like this. So A minus B will be, this is A, this is minus B. We have vector A and vector minus B. So resultant will be like this. Or you can say we have a vector A, this is A, or this is minus B. This is B and this is minus B. So minus B plus A. I have a vector minus B plus A. So resultant will be like this. So this will be resultant of minus B and A. Resultant of minus B and A will be this. Resultant of A and B will be this. So this vector is basically A minus B. Or if you take this vector is A minus B. This vector is B minus A. This vector is A plus B. This vector is minus of A plus B, है ना? तो when we turn the vector, it becomes minus. So this is A, B. So we got A plus B. This is minus B. This was B and this is minus B. So minus B plus A will get minus B plus A. So this is the resultant A minus B. So what I have to do? I don't have to find out the vector. I have to just find the length. By what length this has been replaced. ठीक है? So I just have to find out the magnitude of this vector. But I know that this vector is, if I want to find out this vector, I have to do A minus B. This will be vector A minus B. So we can find out the magnitude of A minus B. We have a formula. What is that formula? A square plus B square minus 2AB cos theta. So now A square means magnitude of A and its square, that is L. So L square plus L square minus 2LL cos theta. Angle between them is theta. First vector is L. The magnitude of first vector is L. The magnitude of second vector is L. Angle between the vector is theta. So the magnitude of resultant vector will be like this. So now L square, 2L square. I can take L square common. And when it comes out of root, it will become L. Inside we have 2 minus 2 cos theta. So if you remember the half angle formula, what we have? L 2 into 1 minus cos theta. Now we have half angle formula. Cos square theta by 2 is equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta, 1 plus cos theta by 2. Sin square theta by 2 is equal to 1 minus cos theta divided by 2. So from here we have 1 minus cos theta. I can take this in this side. So 1 minus cos theta is nothing but 2 sin square theta by 2. And we already have a 2 here. So it will become L 2. It will come out as 2 sin square theta by 2. It will come out as sin theta by 2. So basically we have the vector, a new vector which is A minus B and its magnitude is 2L sin theta by 2. So magnitude of this vector is 2L sin theta by 2. It means the displacement or the change in position of the head of these vectors we can write as 2L sin theta by 2, which is given in the option 4. Next है question number 79. Find component of 79. Find component of B is equal to 2I cap plus 3J cap in the direction of A is equal to I cap plus J cap. So we have to find out the component of this in direction of this. So component, when you take component of one vector in the direction of another vector, what we do, if we have a vector like this, let's say vector A, and a vector like this B, and angle is theta, then component is nothing but the projection of this vector in this direction. ठीक है? Draw a perpendicular like this, and the length which was being occupied by that vector is the projection of that vector. ठीक है? उसको हम क्या लिखते हैं? If we have a vector B like this, and this is A, then the component of that vector in this direction will be projection. And वो projection क्या होता है? That component is nothing but B cos theta, है ना? B cos theta, mod B into cos theta. So now I want to find out B cos theta. I have a vector 2i plus 3j whose component we want to find out in the direction I plus j. So what I should do? I should calculate B cos theta. Do we have theta? No. So what we should do? We have another option. We can do A dot B. We can take dot product of these vectors. So what we'll get? A dot B is nothing but A B cos theta. Now what I want? I want B cos theta. Na? I want B cos theta. So what I'll do? I'll divide it with mod of A. I'll divide this with mod of A. So in this side also I will have to divide it with mod of A. So mod of A will get cancelled, and I will have mod of B into cos theta, and that is the component. So for calculating B cos theta, what I should do? I should take dot product and divide it with mod of first vector. I mean this vector. So A dot B will be this into this plus this into this. 2 plus 3 divided by mod of A. Mod of A is root 2. So we have B cos theta, or component of 2i plus 3j in the direction I plus j, which is equal to 5 by root 2. So answer will be 5 by root 2. Option 1. Question number 80. If unit of mass, length and time are doubled, then in this new system, which of the following will not have the same magnitude? Same magnitude as before. ठीक है? So we have to find out कि अगर हम system of unit change करते हैं, then which of the following quantities will get changed? So basically what we are doing, we are doubling the units. Previously we were taking unit time is equal to 1 second, mass, length and time, na? हाँ. Previously we were taking unit mass means 1 kg, unit length means 1 meter, and unit time means 1 second. So unit mass was 1 kg, 1 meter length, 1 second, unit time. But now what we have done, we have doubled it. So unit mass is 2 kg now. Unit length is 2 meter now, and unit time is 2 seconds. Clear? So let's see gravitational constant. Gravitational constant. How we'll calculate? Again, F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So G will be kg meter per second square into meter square divided by kg square. So what we have? We have G is equal to L cube m minus 1 and t minus 2. है ना? M minus 1 L3 t minus 2. So now let's see. Does this change affect this gravitational constant? So what exactly we have? Kg meter cube divided by kg into second square. So basically क्या है? Cube of unit length divided by unit mass into unit square of unit time. So यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? पहले था 1 meter square divided by 1 kg into 1 second square, 1 meter cube. Correct? So now what we'll do? We'll replace this unit time, unit mass, unit length with new system. So what we have? 2 meter cube divided by 2 kg into 2 second square. So basically what we are getting? Again we have a quantity. यहाँ पे क्या आएगा? 2 cube, 2 square. 2 cube will get cancelled. So this is going to remain same. dimension of for this will be, or for the gravitational constant we are going to have the same value, meter cube by kg second square, because यहाँ पे क्या होगा, this 2 to the power cube will get cancelled and again we'll get meter cube divided by kg and second square. ठीक है. Next is gravitational force. Gravitational force means any force will have the dimensions as or unit as kg meter per second square. So this is going to get doubled, this is going to get doubled, this is going to get doubled. So what we'll get, 2 into 2 and again यहाँ पे क्या है, 2 to the power 2. So 4 it will get cancelled. So this is also going to remain same. यहाँ पे भी क्या हुआ, we have meter cube, this is going to get double. So यहाँ पे क्या आएगा, 2 square और यहाँ 2 cube, it will get cancelled. Next है power of gravitational force. So any power of gravitational force or any force, power is same. Power is nothing but what will have, force into velocity or energy by time, है ना, force into velocity or energy by time. So what will have, kg meter per second square into meter per second, है ना. F dot v होता है ना पावर, और अगर हम एनर्जी टाइम से करें तो kg meter square divided by second square into 1 by second. This is energy, this is 1 by time. So again what we have, double. ठीक है. 2 we'll have 2 cube in the numerator and 2 and 2 cube in denominator. So again this is going to remain same. Gravitational energy. Fourth is gravitational energy. Energy means force dot displacement, or energy is nothing but same, we had kg meter square divided by second square. So now here we have, यहाँ पे एक आएगा 2, यहाँ पे 2 square and यहाँ पे 2 square. This 2 square will get cancelled. I hope आपको समझ में आ रहा है. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, every unit is getting doubled. But in all these three cases, numerator में whatever factor came, the same factor came in denominator, so it was getting cancelled. But in this case, here we have 2, it will get doubled. This will get doubled, so it's power 2. So we have 4 into 2, but in denominator we have just 2 to the power 2. This will get doubled, so 2 second to the power 2 will get 4 second. So again this 2 to the power 2 and 2 to the power 2 will get cancelled. So for this quantity, it is going to change. Previously we had unit energy was 1 joule, which is 1 kg meter square divided by second square. ठीक है. But now if we talk about unit energy, in this case what we'll write, unit mass into unit length square divided by unit time square. Unit mass into unit length square divided by unit time square. So what will happen, 2 square got cancelled, we got 2 joule. So in new system, previously in this case and in this case, when we have doubled the unit mass, unit length and unit time, gravitational constant is same, force is same, power is same, but unit energy is also doubled. आपने unit mass double किया, you have doubled the unit length, you have doubled the unit time, तो unit energy is also doubled. Clear? So change will be in the gravitational energy. Option 4. Which of the following pairs of physical quantities do not have the same dimensions? Momentum and impulse. So impulse is force into time. Momentum is m into v, है ना, which is kg meter per second, and impulse is force into time. It is given. So kg meter per second square into second. So it has kg meter per second, kg meter per second. It has the same dimension. Light year and time. This is wrong because time to time है. Light year, it says year, but it is the it is the measurement of distance. Light year is the measurement of distance. हम कि कोई स्टार हमसे कितना दूर है, so इतने light year दूर है. So light year is the measure of distance, and time is time. So basically they are going to have different dimensions. So answer is 2. But let's see third, energy. Energy is again kg meter square divided by second square. Force into displacement. And torque. You will study in rotational motion that torque is R cross F. And if you talk about magnitude, torque is Fr. Magnitude is F into R, where F is force, R is distance. So their dimensions are going to be same, kg meter per second square into meter, kg meter per second square into meter. ठीक है? So dimensions of energy and torque are same. So answer will be second. For second option, they are not going to have same dimension. Kilowatt hour is the unit of. Kilowatt hour is unit of. So हमें पता है कि watt is unit of power. So kilowatt is also going to be unit of power. But now what we are doing, kilowatt into hour. It means this was power. Power is nothing but energy by time. Rate of flow of energy. Energy by time. किस रेट से आप एनर्जी दे रहे हैं, that was power. So power is kilowatt. This is kilowatt, है ना? Now what we did, we have multiplied time here. It was kilowatt. Now we have multiplied time here. R means what? R means it's a time, unit of time. तो यहाँ पे टाइम अप्लाई किया, तो यहाँ पे टाइम मल्टीप्लाई किया, तो बेसिकली क्या बन गया, ये बन गया टाइम टाइम कैंसिल हुआ, तो इट हैज बिकम द डायमेंशन ऑफ एनर्जी और द यूनिट ऑफ एनर्जी. प्रीवियसली आपके पास क्या था, किलोवाट इज द यूनिट ऑफ पावर. किलोवाट इज द यूनिट ऑफ पावर. पावर इज एनर्जी बाय टाइम. पावर इज द energy by time. Now what I did in kilowatt, I have multiplied a time which is R. So it has become power into time. So if you have power is equal to energy by time, it means power into time is equal to energy. ठीक है? So this is kilowatt and this is R. So it will be a unit of energy. So energy or work or energy, both they have same dimensions. This also we are going to study in work or energy in detail. So work and energy have both same units. So first option is wrong because for power unit is kilowatt. Second option is energy by time. Energy by time is nothing but power. Third is work. Work and energy have same unit, same dimension. So this will be the answer. Third is the answer. Fourth is power by time. Power by time कुछ नहीं होता. Power by time is nothing. So answer will be third option. Question number 83. Two non-zero vectors A and B are such that A plus B is equal to B plus A. The angle between A and B is. This is always true. Vectors addition is commutative. A plus B or B plus A, it is going to give the same value for all the angles between A and B. So answer will be fourth for any angle. Question number 84. Vector sum of the forces of 5 Newton and 4 Newton can be. Vector sum of forces 5 Newton and 4 Newton can be. So maximum will be when both are in the same direction, 5 and 4. It will give 9. When both are in the opposite direction, 5 Newton and 4 Newton, it will give 1 Newton. है ना? So maximum, their resultant maximum can be 9 Newton and minimum 1 Newton. So whatever lies between 9 to 1 Newton, that is going to be their resultant. If any value goes beyond this, it is not achievable. If any value goes lesser than this, it is not achievable. So we have 10 Newton, wrong. 4 Newton, yes. 13 Newton, no. 15 Newton, no. So answer will be 4 Newton. Question number 85. Y is equal to sin square x plus cos square x, then dy by dx will be. This is a very simple problem. And last 4-5 problems we have very simple. Last problem is little bit, maybe it may feel difficult to you, but it is also easy. So in 85 it is y is equal to sin square x plus cos square x. So we know sin square x plus cos square x. Any angle, for any angle we have sin square plus cos square is equal to 1. It means indirectly we have y is equal to 1. If you have a function which is constant, then their differentiation is going to be 0. So we will get dy by dx is equal to 0. If you do dy by dt, dy by dk, whatever you do, it is going to be 0 because it is a constant function. But if you want to find out it like this, so dy by dx, what we will do? First take it as square of something. So it will become sin square x. So 2 sin x, but this is not a variable. ये एक function है. So again differentiate that to cos x plus 2 cos x minus sin x. ठीक है? आपको समझ में आ रहा है ना? यहाँ पे हमने क्या किया? When we are doing differentiation, first consider we have sin square x. So forget the what is there in that box. Just assume that there is a square. So what we do, if we have x square, its differentiation is 2x, है ना. just forget this कि वहां पे क्या है. अभी यहाँ पे था sin square x, so इसको हम क्या लिख सकते हैं, sin x का square. So I have a box which has square on it. So how we will differentiate? 2 into that box, but box में क्या है, sin x. So when I came to box, I saw कि वहां पे क्या है, sin x. So what I have to do? I have to differentiate this again. So it will become cos x. Now I have a cos square x. So cos square x पे क्या हो जाएगा, cos x square. फिर इसको क्या करो, 2 cos x, but inside that box I have cos. So फिर से इसको differentiate करेंगे, तो यहाँ पे क्या जाएगा, differentiation of cos is minus sin. So basically what I have, 2 sin x cos x minus 2 sin x cos x. So it will become 0. So differentiation, anyway, if you do it in this way, it is going to be 0. If you do it the other way, it is going to be 0. Question number 86. Value of integration minus 6 to minus 2 pi d theta. Integration minus 6 to minus 2 pi d theta. It's a constant. Take it out. What we have? D theta. Integration of d theta is nothing but theta. So 2 pi into theta from minus 6 to minus 2. Put the values, 2 pi minus 2 minus minus 6. What will get? 2 pi into 4. That is 8 pi. Answer will be 8 pi. Question number 87. The position of a particle moving along y-axis is given as 3t square minus t cube, where y is in meters and t is in seconds. The time when the particle attains maximum position will be. So y is equal to 3t square minus t cube. The time when the particle attains maximum positive position. So here we have at t is equal to 0. At t is equal to 0, particle is at y is equal to 0, है ना. At t is equal to 0, particle is at y is equal to 0. So now it will start moving, है ना. It will start moving and it will keep on moving up to what point? When it takes a turn. ठीक है. If it starts moving like this in this direction, it will keep on moving up to a point when it is going to take turn. The point at which it will take turn, after that point, its position is going to decrease. मान लो ये हमारा y axis है, ठीक है, ये हमारा y axis है. So that particle has started from here. Its position is increasing. This is showing us the position of the particle at any time t. So slowly its position is increasing. But after some time, it may happen that its position will decrease. So it will come back like this. So if its position is decreasing after some time, it means it has taken a turn. And when it takes a turn, at that instant its velocity is 0. जब हम turn लेते हैं, velocity is 0. If I am going in this direction, if I have taken this direction as positive, so my velocity is positive. ठीक है. But if I am going to take a turn, it means my velocity is going to be negative after some time. So if I have a positive velocity and after some time it is becoming a negative velocity, it means in between I had a velocity which was 0. For this small instant, just at that instant I have not traveled anything. For that very small instant. So at this point I have velocity is equal to 0. So if this particle takes turn, its position is going to decrease. Initially इसकी position ऐसे थी. When it will take turn, its position will become lesser. है ना? Initially its position is increasing. When it takes turn, its position will start decreasing. So up to this point, its position is going to increase. So basically, if I want to find out at which point it will have the maximum position, so what I will do, I will calculate the point or the time when it had velocity equals to 0, because after that its position is going to decrease. So up to that point its position was increasing. So basically we have to find out time when velocity was 0. For velocity, what we will do, dy by dt, which is 6t minus 3t square is equal to 0. So at t is equal to 0, we have two answers here. T, take T as common, 6 minus 3T is equal to 0. So T is equal to 0 or this is equal to 0. If this is 0, this is going to be 0. If this is 0, this is going to be 0. It means I can have two values of time. So at T is equal to 0, velocity is 0. At T is equal to, put this equals to 0, 6 minus 3T is equal to 0. T is equal to 2 seconds. So at T is equal to 0, particle was at rest. Its velocity was 0. It means particle started from rest. It moved to some value or some position, and then at T is equal to 2 seconds, its velocity became 0. It took a turn and then started coming back towards the initial position. So at T is equal to 2 seconds, its velocity is 0. So 2 seconds tak it will keep on moving in one direction. After T is equal to 2 seconds, it will take a turn and its position will decrease. So we had to find out the time when the particle attains maximum positive position. Kab positive position maximum hogi? When the point at which its velocity is becoming 0. Because before that position was increasing. After that position started decreasing. So maximum किस पे होगी? At that point, that intermediate point where velocity is 0. ठीक है? Question number 88. If y is equal to x square, then find out y dx from 0 to 1. This is also very, very simple question. Directly we can write, if y is equal to x square, just replace that. So x square dx from 0 to 1, its integration will be x cube by 3 from 0 to 1. है ना? इसका integration क्या होता है? x cube by 3. Just put the values. When you put 0, we are going to get nothing. So don't put. So what we'll get? 1 by 3. Answer will be second, 1 by 3. If y is equal to sin x, then d square y by dx square. It means double differentiation. First differentiation will give us the cos x, and second differentiation will give us, again differentiate this. So we'll get differentiation of cos x is minus sin x. Bas, khatam. Option 3. Question number 90. The radius of a cylinder increases with time at a constant rate of 2 meter per second. ठीक है, इसका मतलब समझे. We have a cylinder, एक मैजिकल सिलेंडर, ठीक है, मैजिकल सिलेंडर जिसकी रेडियस, whose radius is increasing with a constant rate. Every second the radius is increasing by 2 meter. पहले इतना छोटा था, ठीक है, in 1 second it has increased 2 meter, अगले second 2 meter, 2 meter, 2 meter, 2 meter, like this the radius of the cylinder is increasing, whereas its height decreases with time at a constant rate of 3 meter per second. So it had some height, so slowly every second the height is decreasing by 3 meter. First second it decreases by 3 meter, next second it decreases by 3 meter, next second it decreases by 3 meter. So what exactly is happening? Radius is increasing, height is decreasing. ठीक है? So now we have to find out the rate of change. Find the rate of change with respect to time of total surface area of cylinder at t naught if at this time the radius and heights of the cylinder are 3 meter and 2 meter respectively. So basically what is happening? The radius is increasing, height is decreasing. So there may be some change in the total surface area of the cylinder. There may be some change in the volume of the cylinder, है ना? With the time, volume will change. With the time, total surface area will change. So we have to find out the rate of change of total surface area at the instant. Now for radius, we have a constant rate. The radius is increasing with constant rate. At every second, it is increasing by 2 meter. Height is decreasing by 3 meter. But total surface area, it may be variable, it may be a constant. So we have to just find out the rate of change of total surface area at time t naught, when its radius has become, height has become 2 meter and radius has become 3 meter. So basically rate of change of radius. Now radius is increasing. So what we'll write? Rate of change of radius is 2 meter per second. Rate of change of height is 3 meter per second, but it is decreasing. So what we'll write? Minus 3 meter per second. Every second it is decreasing by 3. This minus shows that the height is decreasing by 3 meter every second. ठीक है? So we have to find out the dA by dt. कब? At t naught, when r has become 2 meter, r has become 3 meter and h has become 2 meter. So initially there was some radius of the cylinder, there was some height of cylinder. So एक time आया, we have arrived at an instant when its radius has become 3 meter and its height has become 2 meter. Radius increase होके it has become 3 meter and height has decreased to 2 meter. So at that instant what will be the rate of change of area? So I hope you all know that total surface area of cylinder is 2 pi r into r plus h. So what we have to find out? We have to find out dA divided by dt. So just differentiate it. Now this is a constant. इसको हम लिख सकते हैं 2 pi r square plus r h. ठीक है, take it inside. So this is a constant. This is a variable. This is also a variable. This is also a variable. So differentiate this. So differentiation of r square will be, if you take x square, differentiation is 2x. If you take r square, it is differentiation is 2r. Now we have we are doing it with respect to time. ठीक है, if we have x square, if you have y is equal to x square and you differentiate it with time, so what you write? dy by dt is equal to 2x dx by dt. ठीक है, if you have y is equal to t square, what you write? dy by dt is equal to 2t dt divided by dt. So this gets cancelled, so हम लोग directly क्या लिख देते हैं? t. So we are differentiating with respect to time, and this is not time. This is not time. So again we'll have to differentiate this variable with time. So we write dx by dt. So यहाँ पे क्या जाएगा? 2 pi 2r dr by dt. ये समझ में आ रहा है ना हम क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे? अगर मुझे पूछा जाए find dy by dx, so we are differentiating with respect to this variable only. तो हमने जो वेरिएबल एज्यूम किया, whatever standard variable we are taking in differentiating this equation, हमारा हम किसके रिस्पेक्ट में कर रहे हैं? हम x के रिस्पेक्ट में कर रहे हैं. सो क्या आएगा? 2x into dx by dx. So dx dx cancel हो गया. But now we have one variable, two variable, and we are differentiating with respect to third variable. So this is a variable which is not t. So when you differentiate this, you will write dy by dt. This is a variable which is not t. So first what you will think? That it is a t. I have a box which has t and square. The box has a square. So how will differentiate? 2 into that box. So 2 into that box. Clear? But does that box has t? No, it has x. So again differentiate that x with respect to time. So what will get? Dx by dt. If we are differentiating with respect to x, it means हमने x सोचा था और x ही है. We thought in the box we have x. When we were doing y is equal to x square, we thought that there is a x and we have to differentiate with respect to x. So simply we wrote dy by dx is equal to 2x. When you are differentiating with respect to this variable only, तो यहाँ पे हम लोग को अलग से ये लिखने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. आप dx by dx लिखोगे कैंसिल हो जाएगा, तो वो हम लिखते ही नहीं हैं. But when you are differentiating with some third random variable, then you have to differentiate every function, every variable with respect to that particular variable. So here we have r, h and a, and we are differentiating with respect to time. So ये term भी आएगा. Now in this case we have two different functions, r and h. So first keep this constant and differentiate this. Plus second keep this constant plus differentiate this. Sorry, into differentiate this. Now we have all the values. dA by dt कब हमें find out करना है? When this r has become 3 meter and h has become 2 meter. So we have all the values. See, 2 pi 2 into r. r कितना है? 3 meter. Into dr by dt. dr by dt is constant. It is not time dependent. So it will be 2 plus r. Again r कितना है? 3 dh by dt. dh by dt is also constant. It is not time dependent. यहाँ जाएगा -3 plus h is 2 and dr by dt is 2. what we got 2 pi, ये आ गया 12 minus 9 plus 4, so ये आ गया हमारे पास 7, so it will be 14 pi. The rate of change of total surface area with respect to time is 14 pi meter square per second. ठीक है, मीटर स्क्वायर पर सेकेंड. दिस इज, ये क्या होगा, दिस विल बी इन मीटर स्क्वायर एंड दिस विल बी इन सेकेंड, सो यूनिट्स विल बी मीटर स्क्वायर पर सेकेंड. आंसर इज ऑप्शन 3. सो लास्ट का आंसर है 14 पाई मीटर स्क्वायर पर सेकेंड, द रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ टोटल सरफेस एरिया विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम. सो वी हैव कंप्लीटेड दी पेपर DT2 एंड आई होप आपको सारे क्वेश्चन समझ में आए होंगे. इफ यू वांट टू अटेम्प्ट द क्वेश्चंस अगेन, प्लीज ट्राई इट after seeing the solution. If you want to feel confident or if you are not sure about some particular questions, then try those questions again or try those questions after 1 or 2 days if you are able to solve it or not, and work hard, study well. Goodbye.